All right, thanks for that, Mike. We begin with what was a scary scene in downtown Lexington last night after an evacuation on New Year's Eve. Just before 8 p.m., police evacuated several blocks, including bars and restaurants. Police said they were looking into this RV, which was parked on West Short Street and Market. An explosives detection canine was brought in and alerted to the vehicle. Police cleared that scene just about 2 hours later, around 10:15 last night, after they said they made contact with the driver. Now, no explosives were ever found, but that incident certainly a scary situation for those who were in the area at the time. Mayor Linda Gordon issuing a statement late last night saying, quote, "Public safety is one of my top priorities, and the events downtown tonight remind us just how important it is. In our city, a well-trained, diligent police force protects us thanks to our officers." The disruption shutting down some bars early last night, which have already had to scale back New Year's Eve festivities due to the pandemic. It was another blow to the hospitality industry. At 21C Museum Hotel in downtown Lexington, instead of hundreds of people gathering to ring in the new year, guests were told to hang out in their rooms, and if they made a reservation, could then come down to dinner. Sales and Marketing Director Brian Pulley says it's a huge impact to them financially, but he also said it's important to keep everyone safe, and he hopes the community will continue to support them.
The support of the community is very important to really all of the hospitality community, from restaurants to hotels to car services to anything that you can think of.
Pulley says he hopes next year life and business will return to normal, as we all do. Lexington police have identified a suspect in this week's deadly shooting on Woodhill Drive. Police say a warrant for murder is now out for the arrest for 23-year-old Kaylin Gills. According to police, Gills is the suspect who opened fire on 2 people in an SUV parked outside of the Woodhill Food Mart. According to the coroner, one of the victims, 20-year-old Jaquise Ray, later died at UK Hospital. Police say the second victim survived. A serial killer with ties to Kentucky has now died. Authorities call Samuel Little the most prolific serial killer in U.S. history. Little died Wednesday at a California prison where he was serving a life sentence on 3 counts of murder. He was arrested at a Louisville homeless shelter. He confessed to killing 93 people in 19 states, including a woman in Covington back in 1984. A majority of the people he confessed to killing were women, mostly prostitutes, drug addicts, or those living on the margins of society. Little was 80. No cause of death has been released. Now to a scam alert in Scott and surrounding counties, where some people say they've got a call from a man claiming he was calling on behalf of Publishers Clearinghouse. So he told them people were winners but needed some financial information to get the money to them. They say when they started asking him questions, the caller then got off the phone. With stimulus checks starting to arrive, experts say be on the lookout for even more scams and never give out any financial information to anyone over the phone. Meanwhile, some good news for distilleries that switched to making hand sanitizer this year. The federal government announcing Thursday it's now rescinded a $15,000 fee it charged distilleries earlier this week. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, that fee was charged by mistake. Hundreds of businesses started making hand sanitizer after supplies of the product dwindled back in March. To do so, they had to register as drug makers. The fine was connected to user fees that drug makers have to pay every year. And new this morning, in Lexington, the mayor's mobile coronavirus testing program will move to Easter Seals Cardinal Hill. Testing will run next week, January 4th through the 8th from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Testing will also continue at Tate's Creek Golf Course from the 4th to the 9th during the same hours, and also at BCTC from January 4th to the 8th. As always, no appointment is needed and testing is free. Results are generally available in 24 to 48 hours. Meanwhile, Lexington has crossed over the 23,000 mark in COVID cases in total. The Lexington-Fayette County Health Department reporting 275 new cases on Thursday and 1 new death. The total number of people who have now died from the virus, 160. According to the Health Department, there were 341 new COVID-related hospitalizations in December. That's the most in a single month since the pandemic started. In West Virginia, the National Guard says 42 people were accidentally injected with antibodies to fight COVID-19 instead of the Moderna vaccine. According to ABC affiliate WCHS-TV, injections of the Regeneron antibody product were given during a vaccination clinic with the Boone County Health Department. The Guard, which is responsible for overseeing distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine in West Virginia, says it does not believe any of the 42 people were harmed, thankfully. According to the Guard, everyone who received the incorrect shot has been contacted or is in the process right now of being contacted. Well, to top off an already challenging year, the Lexington Children's Theater is dealt another blow. The theater posting some pictures here on its Facebook page saying a boiler pipe burst, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage to the box office and also the lobby area. Look at that. The theater says while they do have insurance, the deductible is large and financial help is needed. One business has already stepped up to offer its assistance. Nate's Coffee says it's donating 50% of all sales of its fair trade Rwanda coffee for the next 2 weeks to the Lexington Children's Theater. Coming up, the latest on coronavirus in the U.S. as health officials say the spread of that new COVID variant continues. Plus, we've got an update on the number of vaccinations now given out.
And I'm tracking a wet